Hey, good morning, everybody. Pastor Jim here with some morning moment thoughts and things for you to consider today. I really just have one, and it has to deal with faith. And one of my favorite illustrations of faith. Maybe you've heard me say this before, but I love the thought of the roller coaster. There's a great analogy in the roller coaster that applies to what we're going through right now. The ups, the downs, the acceleration, the anticipation, the when does it end, the sharp corners, with our governor saying that the shelter in place order is now going to be extended from what we thought was going to end this Monday, and now is going to continue on. That's one of those turns, one of those twists, one of those when's it going to end, and we certainly have seen this, when it comes to statistics, and we're hoping for this and this. So there is a similarity to what we're going through to a roller coaster ride. And I was thinking about this morning, and if you've ever seen the movie National Lampoon's Family Vacation with Chevy Chase, if you haven't seen it, I really recommend that you don't. But if you have seen it, you'll get this and you'll understand this, that one of the final scenes, the family has made their trek across the United States in this urban assault vehicle of a station wagon. They've run into family members that are terrible. Aunt Edna and cousin what's his face, that's just a cousin Eddie, is a complete idiot, and the kids are cross-eyed because they've been kicked in the head by goats, and just funny stuff. They finally get to Wally World, their Disney World, destination, and when they get there, it's closed after people have died and the car's been wrecked and they've been mugged and all this terrible stuff. So who says I love Eddie? Matt McKinnon, I love Eddie. Good. You probably have one like that in your family. So anyway, they end up taking a BB gun, pretending it's a real gun, and they kidnap the security guard, played by John Candy, who's probably one of the greatest bit actors of all time. Been in more movies than just about anybody else, but he's only in them for 10 minutes, other than Uncle Buck. So I'm sorry, I didn't cover my mouth. That's what I meant to do. See there, example. So they get John Candy and they get on this roller coaster ride, and sitting in the front seat next to the security guard, John Candy, is Rusty, the main character's son. He's probably 15, 14 years old. And they go up the hill, and you can tell Rusty's getting all excited. John Candy's getting all discouraged and frightened as they come down the hill. That's the whole scene. The scene is watching the reactions of people on the roller coaster ride. They're going up, they're going down, back and forth, spinning around, and it's one of those moments. And I love the difference that's portrayed between what John Candy is going through and what Rusty's going through. John Candy's face looks like he's about to die. He's trying not to throw up. He's terrified. He's screaming. Rusty, on the other hand, is doing this big smile on his face. And so you say, Jim, what does this have to do with faith? And this is what it is. They're both experiencing the ups and the downs at the exact same time in the exact same way. They're both experiencing G-force that is beyond normal. That ride was designed to give them thrills, to give them forces they wouldn't normally experience, speeds and wind and sounds, and you know what I mean? And they're going through it, and Rusty's having the time of his life, and John Candy wants to die. And the answer is why? This is why. The reason is because the kid, Rusty, trusts that the person who designed the roller coaster knew what he was doing, and it was going to be okay. John Candy didn't trust the architect, didn't trust the construction, didn't trust the construct of that roller coaster. And so every turn felt like the end. Every twist felt like the end. Everything was overwhelming. There was no end in sight. And he didn't prosper during that ride. Rusty had a blast. John Candy wanted to die. And they're both experiencing the exact same thing at the exact same time. So here's my point. I don't know when the last twist and the last turn and the last hill and the last acceleration and the last G-force and the last tragedy and the last hardship and the last test will come. But I know that those who trust the one who can work all things together for our good, because we love him, because we're called according to his purpose, that person will have a different experience while experiencing the exact same thing as the person who goes, I really don't trust God. I really don't trust that he can take everything and work it together for good. So I encourage you guys, trust God, the author and the perfecter of your faith. If you had any inkling of faith, he's the one that started that. And with that initiation of who he is in your life, there's a promise that comes with it that will go all the way until there's a perfection of your faith. I do not believe God created this virus and plagued the earth with it. But I also do believe that God will not waste hard times in the development of our trust in him. So you can freak out and throw up. You can raise your hands and say, woo, it's up to you. The way you experience it really comes down to not what you're experiencing it, but not what you're experiencing. It comes down to, do you trust? Do you trust the one who's in control, who's in charge? And if you do, life's different. If you don't, life's hard. I mean, really hard, brutally hard. So be encouraging each other in your faith today. Be encouraging each other to trust the Lord. And that's my morning moment. That's my morning thought. God bless you guys. And I hate to say enjoy the ride, because a lot of this isn't enjoyable, but trust the architect. And we'll talk to you again soon.